Welcome to Detroit Prepping. Today, I'd like to talk about first on my mind has been this healthcare issue. I've heard it debated, I've heard it talked about over and over again throughout my lifetime. I grew up the child of a Chrysler employee. I participated in Blue Cross and Blue Shield and never had any significant medical issues other than the routine checkups or whatnot. Once I became an adult, I often did not carry health insurance because of the fact that I could go to the doctor, pay $110 or whatever, get a general physical at the age of 23, and not co-pay $59 a week for 52 weeks a year through my job and still have a co-pay when I show up of $50 or whatnot. And as I watch the Democrats, Republicans debate, talk about, promise Medicaid for all, single payer, a lot of fancy words I'm sure I'm missing, but I think at least all the news sources and opinions I see and read are truly missing the point. If an aspirin, and these are for examples, I don't have an actual hospital bill in front of me to quote from, but if aspirin's $55 and a IV is $1,352 and you stepping a foot into an ambulance is $500 with an additional $140 charge per mile. I think we're going after the wrong avenue for getting some type of control on this. And I guess if I was a dying man, I would never put a price on an aspirin or try to somehow profess to know that a doctor's time and effort is or is not worth a certain amount of money. I guess any amount you're willing to pay, it's worth. But what about those that can't afford to pay? I mean, I know plenty of people that haven't been to the doctor in 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 15 years. Have had horrendous, what I would, I guess, call health issues and never seek medical treatment or anything like that. I don't know the general outcome of those particular conditions, but so many people not having access to health care shocks me. And the fact that obviously something could be done with all this money they're throwing around, which, by the way, is not their money, it's taxpayers' money. Yeah, I know, rantastic, right? It's just what's been on my mind lately, and one of many concerns I have that seems to just fall through the cracks or not really be an issue that can be solved. I think, unfortunately, for all the, oh my God, this shit's gonna hit the fan moments I feel surround me every day. This continuing debate about healthcare is being fought on the wrong front. I mean, I don't know if anyone would agree with what I'm saying, but you can't tell me that the average hospital visit, doctor's visit, should run into the thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone will put in the comments something that I'm missing in all of this. But for all the time, energy, and money spent on debating health insurance, much as I'm able to walk into the store and buy food to maintain my body and fuel my continued life, I find it hard to believe that a system cannot be set up or is already in place but not utilized properly that could accommodate a person coming in and paying $100-$200 for a doctor's visit. Hey, your time's fucking valuable, dude. I mean, if you're making $200 in 15 minutes, I really don't care how long you were in college, or, if you can make the minimum wage salary in a fraction of an hour. I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm only saying that you don't deserve 3 months' salary from a minimum wage worker for that same 15 minutes. Agree, disagree, I don't know. Anybody stayed on the video this long to even give this stupid subject a thought? Love to hear your comments. On another note, I'm sure if you've made it this long in the video, you know what's been going on in my life with neighbors, both sides, abandoned houses, construction work, trespass, a myriad of topics. They've been going on for 6 years, and if you have time, check out some of my videos. I'll look back now, I'll look back at intimidation, threats, all this other stuff. I've got a bunch of folders in there. Spend an hour checking them out. You'll at least know that no matter how bad you got it, somebody's got it almost as bad as you. But I have now been ticketed, and I've got 5 of these bad boys from the city of Detroit. Since they could not recover any money and this and that and make any headway with all the garbage that's still out there in the yard, in the alley, on that side, myriad of other issues surrounding me, which I've done more than my part to try to alleviate, help cleaned up in some cases, suffered horrific consequences to property and, I won't say life, but definitely had my life threatened. So, now I'm looking at approximately $2,550 worth of tickets for things like, failure to maintain a vacant building or structure in accordance with the requirements of section blah, 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 City of Detroit, blah, 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 blah. All structures except 1 and 2 family dwellings and buildings with 5 or more stories, $500 or whatever, like, okay, so you just wrote down something that's not true and gave me a ticket for it, and now I have to meet at this location to prove that I'm innocent instead of them prove that I'm guilty of something that's not true because it's not a vacant building. It's probably the wrong statute or something, but it's a big money statute, so failure of owner to comply with emergency or imminent danger order for 1 or 2 family dwelling or building. I guess they did narrow it down to what this actually is. Another big giant failure to comply with an emergency or imminent danger order. But no order was ever received by me that I had not complied with or whatnot. They're all in order, like ticket 17, 18, 19, 20. Certificate of compliance required now. Violation for failure to obtain. Now that I have to get one, it's required now. Compliant. I'm not sure exactly. That's a pretty vague statute that carries a $250 fine. Some more. Failure to obtain a certificate of registration for a vacant building, which carries the same fine. $250,000. I mean, the list goes on. I won't bore you anymore. It's just funny that as my property was destroyed, damaged, vandalized, dumped upon, I'm not even sure, is that a real? I probably didn't have the no dumping sign put up like I should have properly in my driveway. So, most likely it was my fault. So, I cleaned it up and all that. I understand. But this is ridiculous at this point now. And yet again, I have to go down there and explain why I was targeted for complying completely with my permits and what would be reasonable, and you know, cleaning up for litter bugs and everything else, and maintaining the property, which the city won't maintain, and you know, see what they say again, pay all these tickets, like that's the final word, huh? I mean, they went all that distance to make up and look up some stuff, so you might as well pay them, and we'll be back later. Well, I think I've ranted and babbled long enough. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed, and if nothing else, I hope you have a good day.